Introducing Photography Pro. Launch Photo Pro from the home screen. The icon on the left indicates the current shooting mode. The lens box indicates the focal length. Select a camera lens, 16, 24, or 70 millimeters. Shutter speed, f-value, exposure compensation, and ISO settings are located below the viewfinder. There are other settings on the right-hand side where the interface design has been inspired from Sony's Alpha camera. Use the hardware shutter key to shoot. Half-press the shutter key to focus and press completely to release the shutter. Digital zoom. A semicircle will appear when pressing the arrow. Slide the semicircle to zoom. Digitally zoom up to 24 millimeters with a 16 millimeter lens, up to 70 millimeters with a 24 millimeter lens, and up to 200 millimeters with a 70 millimeter lens. Choose internal storage or SD card to save photos. Tap the auto icon and select P mode. P mode is recommended when taking photos of children, pets, and for general snapshots. Easily take photos without detailed settings in P mode. The brightness will automatically adjust when changing shooting angles in low light conditions. Based on ambient lighting conditions, the brightness will automatically adjust when changing shooting angles. Select JPEG or RAW, or both formats to save at the same time. Some restrictions apply. In general, JPEG is recommended. Aspect ratio and drive mode can be selected as well. Using shutter priority mode. Select S mode. S mode allows you to adjust the shutter speed when shooting fast-moving objects. A range of shutter speeds are displayed. Change the value by sliding the meter. Values will depend on the lens selected. For example, selecting 30 will release the shutter and take in light for 30 seconds. The greater the value, the longer the exposure. Slide the meter oppositely for faster shutter speeds. The image would become darker. Adjust the shutter speed depending on how to capture the scene. With fast shutter speed will freeze the moment. With slower shutter speed, the flow of water will clearly be captured. Different outputs can be seen with different modes and shutter speeds. Other related topics regarding shutter speed. Camera shake tends to occur with slow shutter speed. Use tripods to avoid these situations. For fast shutter speed, noise tends to occur. Adjust the shutter speed to avoid these situations. Exposure setting. Exposure values indicate the amount of light reaching the image sensor and determines the brightness of the photos. There are two types of exposure, standard and proper exposure. Standard exposure is the value calculated by the camera and displayed as 0. Proper exposure is achieved by increasing or decreasing the exposure values to adjust the brightness. Tap AEL to maintain a fixed brightness. Adjusting the exposure values will drastically change the look of the photos. This is an example taken with standard exposure. For brighter photos, increase the exposure value. For darker photos, decrease the exposure value. setting. Half press the shutter key to focus on the subject. 3 preset focus modes are available: AFC, AFS, and manual mode. Here, we will cover the autofocus modes AFC and AFS. First, AFC. Half press the shutter key to continuously track and focus on the desired subject. AFC is recommended for scenes such as sports, children, and pets. Photography Pro tracks the face and eyes of humans, but also for animals as well. Next, AFS. Half press the shutter key to focus on a specific subject. The focus will be fixed as long as the shutter key is half pressed. AFS is recommended for scenery or general snapshots with minimal movement. Tapping AF on is the same as half pressing the shutter key. To capture fast-moving objects, half press the shutter key, and the camera will start to track the face and eyes. Completely press the shutter key to capture a precisely focused image. If the subject is too close, or it is a scene with less contrast, the camera may lose track of the subject. For continuous in-focus shots, tap Drive Mode and select Continuous High or Low. Continuous High can shoot up to 20 images per second, while Continuous Low can shoot up to 10 images per second. Select P mode. Determine a desired composition. Avoid any unwanted objects. Use grid lines or the level indicator to check if the composition is level. Green indicates it is level, and orange if tilted. Adjust the area to focus on. When shooting food, using natural light is recommended. Fix the composition. Adjust the exposure level for a desired brightness. To avoid overexposure in a backlit situation, decrease the exposure level.